Who are your favorite boxers watching your favorite boxers growing up? Like,
growing up, I looked up to guys who had a similar stature as me, you know, long and lanky. So, you know, like Eric Morales, Oscar De La Hoya, Diego Corrales, Salvador Sanchez, and that's a guy my dad keeps talking to me about. He won't let it go. Yeah, so. That's my dad's favorite fighter, and you know that he was just an amazing fighter. You know, unfortunately he died of a car accident when he was younger, but I mean he's a legend only at early 20s. Yeah, it's amazing. Yeah, absolutely. So those are guys that I looked up to growing up, and you know I just try to take a little bit from them as I grew up and put it into my own routine. Right on. Who are your top 5 right now? Or top 3? Not in order, it doesn't matter. Top 3, I would have to say probably Triple G, Chocolatito, and Vasil Lomachenko. Yeah, man, he's just... That guy's a beast, huh? Yeah, man, he's like on a different level from almost every fighter, and it's just amazing to watch, and for him to be someone in my era, you know what I mean? It's just, it's like poetry in motion. Absolutely. So, I mean, you're the legacy of, you know, Oxnard. I mean, you know, you have fighters coming out of here like Fernando Vargas, Robert Garcia turned pro trainer, one of the best trainers in the world. Right. You know, and Oxnard has always been, I think, a magnet for boxers to either come train or come out of. Yeah. Right. So to be a part of that legacy is an amazing feeling, man. Because, you know, like you said, we have tons of champions that come to either train here or have come from here. And, you know, I'm proud to say that I was born and raised here in Oxnard, and I get to represent it everywhere I go. Boxnard. Yeah. So, you know, I love to represent to the fullest, no matter where I'm at, whenever, wherever. I represent to the fullest, and you know I just want to make my community proud. I'm proud to be from here, and I don't forget where my roots, where my roots or where I started or where I came from. You know, and I love this community, and I just try to give back and give it the best name it can. You know, because we don't always have the best reputation. No, we don't. Yeah, so you know I try to uphold its name and do the best that I can for it. No, I think this is a great city. I'm proud to be from here, born and raised, and people are like, oh, you're from Oxnard? Sometimes they say it in a way where, you know, you're not really... offensive. Yeah, you know, and I'm like, yeah, born and raised, like proud, you know? Right. I mean, I don't know, it's probably, I mean, we're used to it just growing up here, but other people, when they come here, they don't get it. I mean, it's just, same thing can go growing up in certain parts of Los Angeles. I mean, every place has its ghettos and, you know, their hardships, but I mean, you know, coming out of here, I think it just gives you some character and it gives you more strength, you know. Definitely, you know, those hardships build character. Yeah. And that's why I feel like, I mean, I am where I'm at. You know, it wasn't always all, you know, easy for me, and you know, I had my hurdles and my hardships, but you know, my family and my team helped me get across it, and you know, things are great now. When you got your first big check, what did you do with that? If you don't mind me asking. I went out and I bought a house. Right on. I bought a house probably about a year ago, a little over a year ago. Probably the best investment you can make. Yeah, I bought a house, and then I got my second biggest check, and then I renovated the whole thing. And then now I'm working on my second house. That's great, man. It's been a good path, man. It's been a good journey. God's been good to me, and you know, without God, I don't know where I'd be today. You know, so I owe it all to Him. Being in this sport, I mean, you know, the C word, concussions, you know, like, right. I mean, that flies around in boxing, mixed martial arts, I mean, football. People are retiring younger and younger, like in their 20s in the NFL. I mean, does your wife or does your family, you know, like, I mean, obviously they worry about you, but, you know, your health and everything, but do they, you know, is there a certain cutoff point they want you to stop? Or, I mean, you know, everything has become more out in the open as far as, you know, head injuries. As far as health. You know, I've talked about, you know, the future with my wife and, you know, when do I think about retiring, but thank God, you know, He turned me into a boxer instead of a brawler, because
you know, I haven't been a fighter that's really gotten hit too much or taken too much of any punishment. And I feel like as far as longevity, I still got a pretty decent amount of miles left on my motor.
You look like it. You're only 26, right?
Yeah, and you know, for a 26-year-old, you know, you have guys that are 26 that have been at wars their whole life, and they look like they're 36.
Yeah.
You know, and ready to retire. And thank God that hasn't been me. You know, I've you know used my boxing skills very well, and it's gone great for me. And I'm not a beaten fighter, so thank God I really, at least not that I know of, have had any concussions.
So you've gone to the doctor, everything looks fine.
Everything's always been great. Vision's great.
I guess that's what the, you know, your trainer, people in your corner, the refs, you know, people want to stop the fight.
Right.
You or somebody else, might want to keep going. You don't think it's fair at the time, but you know, when someone's looking at you from outside of the ring or from outside of your body, I mean.
And it's a scary thing, man. You know, a few years back, I had a fighter that I was fighting. His name is Angel Osuna. And we fought over in the desert at the Fantasy Springs Casino. He was the hometown hero, and we were fighting a 10-round fight. The kid, probably about my size, probably, you know, half a pound apart. Okay. He was the favorite to win. Like I said, he was a hometown hero. And I had sparred him before, so I beat him in sparring, and
pretty familiar with him, huh?
Yeah, so I knew what he brought to the table, but this time, you know, he was extremely well trained, and he was on top of it.
Wow.
So it was a brutal fight. It was a very close fight, back and forth, but he was doing just enough rounds to win. And going into the 7th round, he probably took in the first 7, so I needed a knockout to win.
Yeah.
You know, so round 8, he started slowing down. Round 9, I broke him down even more, and then going into the 10th, like something just clicked, and I put my punches together. I told myself I got a second wind, and I told myself I'm not gonna stop until I knock this guy out. Came out, we got into a small clinch. As soon as we stepped back, I just unleashed. I dropped the guy. He falls into the ref's table. He had a hard time getting up. He got up by the count of 10, barely made it to the 10 count. And he was kind of wobbly, and they stopped the fight. You know, it was an amazing comeback win for me. But then, next thing you know, they announced my victory, and they're taking him out on a stretcher.
Wow.
You know, so to me, it's, you want to hurt your opponent, but not to the point where you put their life in danger.
Yeah.
And so you don't want to cause any type of permanent damage. So this kid was rushed to the hospital. They took him into surgery immediately. They had to cut out I believe a piece of his skull in the back of his head to release the pressure from so many punches.
Oh.
Yeah, because it was a brutal fight, man. It was very back and forth, even though he was winning. And he was out. I believe he was in the hospital probably for about 4 or 5 months. And he doesn't box anymore, man. And,
yeah, I wouldn't think so after that.
And that was making it through something like that probably had to be the toughest fight of his life. And you know, I commend him for something like that, because they had a fundraiser for him over at the same casino, and I wasn't sure if I should show up because I don't know how people would take it. But you know, I thought about it, and I told myself, you know, it's not about these people. It's about Angel and me paying my respects to him.
Yeah.
And so, you know, I went, and he told me, you know what, it's not your fault. As a Mexican, you know, we die on the battlefield, and you know, it is what it is. If it wasn't me, it could have been you. You know, I was trying to do the same thing to you.
Yeah.
So for him to tell me something like that was amazing, man. Because a lot of people would probably be sour or salty that happened.
Yeah.
You know, because in boxing, that's all we know.
That's the business.
Yeah, it's all we know, man.
That's the point.
That's how we put food on the table for our families. So for me to take that away from him, it was a very bittersweet victory.
Yeah.
You know, so stuff like that is scary. Like you said, the concussions and your health, those are things you really have to look out for, because this sport is extremely dangerous. And a lot of people don't realize that.